Fantastic hockey game, an exciting hockey game, a game that had a super crowd, and I think it had all the elements you'd want to see in a game, you know. And we have to certainly congratulate Northeastern, Coach Flint, and their entire staff and team because, you know, they came up with a huge goal there, you know, 20 seconds or so after we scored. And, you know, that gave them the legs and the opportunity because I like to think we're pretty good at closing the deal there. But, you know, they got a puck, the kid put it on net, and all of a sudden it's a tie game, and then anything can happen in OT. And obviously it was one of those goals that was real pretty and real nice in the OT. You know, it wasn't just a fluke or something that fell out of the sky in the back of the net. It was a real good hockey play by two super hockey players.
What was the strategy to try to contain Kendall Coyne, whose Coyne had picked it in that last play?
I think you try to, you know, keep her under wraps. We like to think we've got two good lines that can, you know, play against Casey and against Kendall, and you know, probably in the course of time they do a pretty darn good job. You know, earlier in the year when Poulin wasn't playing with us, it made it a little harder because you know you've got an elite player that can solidify one of the two lines. Now with her here, I think there have been some real dogfights here. You know, us winning 3-2, then winning in overtime here. So you'd like to think it's anybody's game, and certainly, you know, Florence Schelling's a big part of what happened out there tonight too. You know, she was great. I think we had 15 or 16 more shots, but their team competes. You know, she's their rock back there, and they've got, I think, you know, their deepest team they've had since I've been around, which, you know, they could throw out the third and fourth lines and they still fight and compete in our factor out there. So, you know, Kendall and Casey, we've got to keep a close eye on, but basically, you know, we just got a couple matchups we try to get, and I think we've done a good job there.
What did you think about the quality of shots you were getting? You got 46 shots in the game, but what did you think of, like, where they're coming from?
I think there were some good opportunities. I believe what probably stands out to answer that question is I don't remember us getting a whole bunch of 2-on-1s or, you know, wide open 3-on-2s, which meant that they were doing a good job positionally. They had their jump and their step to get back. You know, if they made a slight error and turn a 2-on-1 into a 2-on-2, that would be the biggest thing from my perspective. You know, we had plenty of, you know, cycling opportunities, power play opportunities, you know, shots there, and again, there were enough good chances. You get 46 shots on that, you could get a fourth or fifth, but not that easily against, you know, Florence Schilling.
Especially for Florence here, before the game she came up to me and she goes, you know what, I really want to win something in girls hockey. I really want to win it, and I think that's how we play.
Casey, how did it feel to score the game-winning goal?
It was unreal. I honestly can't even describe it. It was it's a great feeling to know that you like made your whole team happy, and I'm glad that I could do that for everyone.
Casey, can you talk about, you know, it was the third shot that you go in overtime? Just talk about kind of like walk us through here the first two, and then walk us through the third one if you don't mind.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I was just saying, like, you know, it was the third shot you had in overtime that was the goal. Kind of just like walk us through those first two, and then like, you know, what was the difference, you know, when Kendall found you? Just kind of talk about that too.
Yeah, to be honest, I can't remember the first two shots. I think one of them was like a flip that almost got past Sperry, and I was just trying to put that on net. And then the last one, it was a great pass by Coyner, and as soon as I got it, I knew that what I wanted to do with it, and I was confident that I was going in. So I guess that helped, having the confidence. I don't know.
What was your mindset coming out of the third period with the game tied and going into overtime?
I thought that after the third, you know, we had a lot of positive energy in the locker room. We bounced back after a late goal by BU and kind of showed what we're made of. And I think that we all knew we had confidence in each other going into overtime and knew that we had it.
Florence, you saw 46 shots. I mean, what was the pace of this game like, being peppered constantly?
I'm not gonna lie, those are the games that I love the most, just because like it keeps me in the game at like all time. There's no time for me to just like drift away and just like let myself go. So like literally facing that many shots is like an awesome thing for me, and especially I knew towards the end too. I was like, we got this. Like literally, I felt so confident. The more shots I got, I was like, there's no way they're going to score in overtime.
You saw 46 shots, but for the first 18 minutes of the first period, there were only 6, and then 7 those last 2 minutes to kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. Did that transition from sporadic shots to the sudden barrage just kind of put you further into the mindset of being a part of it, as you said, or what was that transition like?
Well, it's hockey. Like in hockey, like literally at any time, there's like the possibility of getting like a huge rush where I get just peppered with shots and everything. So it's like normal to me.
Kendall, what did you think of the atmosphere of the arena?
I thought the atmosphere was loud. Obviously, there was a lot of people there. It was a big game, and I think it shows what Boston hockey is.
Kendall, you scored your goal in the second period. I think it was your 6th in 4 games against BU this season. Can you talk about what it's like to play BU and what gets you going to score that much?
I think I just always want to win, and whenever the opportunity comes to put the puck in the back of the net, you have to capitalize, and especially in big games like these. And I think every game against BU is a big game, considering it's a Hockey East game. We want the 2 points, and I think that's going through our head every shift.
A couple more guys. Florence, you've been here from progression of the team, that the goal is getting into the playoffs and then winning a playoff game and getting into the Hockey East championship game last year. What does it say about the team, the statement made that you won the Beanpot?
I mean, we have like developed incredibly over the past 4 years that I've been here, and like it's awesome to see that we finally like won something that showed us we can do it. We're here, we're playing at the same level than any other team in Hockey East too. So like definitely, it's great.
How do you think this is going to affect you going into the final stretch of the season?
I think this is going to affect us tremendously. It could affect us or it could help us. We have 2 big games this weekend against Maine, and I think after tonight our momentum shifts to this weekend against Maine. We need 4 points, this weekend, and I think that's what we got to start focusing at after we enjoy this win tonight.
I don't know from a fan's perspective, but from my perspective, it was a pretty exciting game to watch and be part of. You saw lead changes back and forth, quick pace. I liked how our team battled. We went down 3-2 there late in the third, and I think, earlier in the year, we might not have come back from that. But we've matured a lot as a team, and we've really developed, and we have a group of girls that really believe in themselves, and I think once we got that goal right back, I had almost a sense of calm that we were going to win the game, and the mood was great in the locker room after regulation, going into overtime. Everyone was positive. There wasn't the scared looks in the eyes like, I hope we don't lose this. It was confidence, and I'm really happy with the outcome.
That final goal, Casey assisted by Kendall, was the mirror of the first goal, Kendall assisted by Casey. Do you feel like that's kind of indicative of just the season overall from those 2 players?
That's been a pretty common combination for us. If you look at the stats, and they've really clicked this year, and Esposito's been a real big part of that line too. I mean, you look at the big goals and the big games, one of those 2 usually have them. I think Kendall's up to like 7 game winners this year, and Casey's probably got a few in there too. So, every time they're on the ice, that line, you're expecting something exciting to happen.
Can you just talk about the general atmosphere of the arena tonight? It was pretty loud.
Oh, it was awesome. It was, in women's hockey, we don't get to experience that too often. We had 1 game this year at our place where we had 1,200 fans. We played a game down in the Bog where we had over 1,000. I don't know what the attendance was tonight. Does anybody know the attendance figure? 11, 20. I mean, it was great. It was predominantly BU fans, but still, it was a great atmosphere. It was loud. It was exciting, and I thought there was more energy in the rink than in the Hockey East playoffs last year. a lot more. And it was just exciting to be part of.
Does that kind of atmosphere make Beanpot games all the more important?
I think so. You know, I think the kids know how important it is, but that ramps it up a little bit. You know, it's it definitely gets them fired up. Like I said, they don't. You know, sometimes they're lucky if they play in front of 200. So when you play in front of that many people, and you know, it's a good atmosphere here because the rink's small, and so you know that definitely raises the stakes a little bit.
You played on big stages before, Fenway, Hockey East, ESPN. What does it feel like to break through and get that win on a big stage and then win a trophy like that?
It's big for the program as a whole. You know, I had set goals when I came here 4 years ago, and a Beanpot championship was one of them. And you know, it took us a little while to get there, but we did. And you know, I think it's a huge boost for the team because now they know, hey, we can do this. We can win these big games. We can win a championship, and you know, and it's a great thing for the school too. I mean, the men's team hasn't won many. The women's team, we hadn't won since '98. You know, most of my players were young, just putting on skates back then. So it's yeah.
Florence showing 46 shots today. Have you seen a better performance from her than tonight's game?
Maybe in this hockey semifinals last year against BU. But other than, I mean, she's been our anchor. She makes us go, and you know, our team plays totally different because they have confidence in her and they know, hey, you know, we have a chance to win every game because she's back there. So, you know, she's been great this season, almost every single game, and you know, it's almost like if she lets in 3, you're like, oh, geez, she had a bad game. But I mean, she was huge, especially on those 5-on-3s tonight. I mean, they could have busted the game wide open there, and they didn't.